So the next thing that we'll look at is the age of smartphones in 2023 quarter two. Now, the last time that we did this was back in 2017. And at that point, the average age was around 30 months. And it's holding about steady. We didn't get the average here, but if you look at the median, it will fall in the 25 to 36 month bucket here in the third column there. And in general, that is the largest. What we do here to get the age of the smartphones is that Wurfel device detection will inform us about the release date of the device. So we compute, now versus when it was released to get the age of the device. In general, you see most devices are kind of in the 13 to 48 month range. Some are newer, and there's a extended tail here of older devices. The last two devices, for example, account for 22% of all the usage, and the first one, the first 12 months, is only 9.3%. Now, breaking this down into Android versus iOS, there's some interesting things to take away from it. Looking at that first 12 months, iOS, there's almost double the amount of people that are buying new phones versus Android. So 6.4 versus 14.7. And, it reinforces what we thought, that iOS people tend to be early adopters. When a new iPhone comes out, a significant portion of people that are iPhone users go out and buy it. Interestingly, when you get to the flip side of that, the 49 to 60 and the 60 plus months, especially in that 60 to 60 plus month, the iOS also is higher there. I think it's interesting to note that the age of devices continues to grow. People are hanging on to their devices a little bit longer, and they still work. And I think what you're seeing here in the 60 plus month range, especially with iPhones, is the strength of a secondary market. So people who might turn in their iPhones or sell them, and they end up in a secondary market. Another buyer uses them for many years, and that buyer might be in the same country, or it might be halfway around the world. There's really a global market these days for those secondary devices. Mara, anything you want to add to that?
Oh, I mean, I think this trend might continue of people holding onto their devices a little bit longer. Samsung has recently said that they're going to support their devices for at least 5 years. Apple has long had a standing of supporting their devices for a long time. And these days, there's a more openness for customers to replace their own batteries or find a service that will replace the battery for them to bring
Yes.
their phone to almost right as in a new state.
I think it also says something for the innovation or lack of innovation that
Yes.
people are not necessarily rushing out to replace their phones. They're very expensive. A lot of them in the premium category are over $1,000 these days. So they want to get their money's worth and hold on unless there's something really pressing to come along. And it'll be interesting if the USB-C connection on smartphones changes this. I think that, I'm not sure if that really counts as a truly innovative change, but it is a major change for the the iPhone community. Just getting into some of the later devices, just to give you a feel for what is falling into these buckets. So the iPhone XR and XS Max are kind of the number one and two in the 49 to 60 month range. And most of them are Apple devices. I guess the top three are Apple devices. The remainder are Huawei and Samsung devices. But when you get to the what I'll call extremely old category, the 60 month plus, you're getting into iPhone pluses, and almost all of them in the top are iPhone devices. The Galaxy J7 from Samsung is kind of the only one that's out there. It also is a compliment to some of the engineering here that these devices are lasting this long. Think about all the wear and tear you put on your phone. The fact that they're getting 5+ years out of them is pretty
If I
impressive.
can't say, the iPhone 7 and older now aren't even supported by Apple. So these aren't even getting software updates now, but people still want to hold on to these devices. So that's
Right.
saying something.
Yeah, look at that. The iPhone 7 and 6S are still hanging on there. Impressive. Okay. But who knows? In September, when they come out with a new iPhone, those might drop off the list pretty quickly.